Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a tale that chills the blood and stirs the soul, a story born from the windswept plains of the American West. Imagine this, the Dakota territories just as the 19th century is turning its final page. The sun bleeds across the horizon, a fiery orange farewell painting the endless sky. A lone cowboy, a figure of classic Americana, rides his horse across this vast, empty canvas. The wind whispers through the tall grass, a lonely sound in a lonely land. But this isn't just any evening ride. Storm clouds are gathering, dark and heavy, and there's a tension in the air you could cut with a knife. Our story begins here with this rider, a silhouette against the fading light. He's weathered, you can tell, a man who knows this land like the back of his hand. But tonight, something is different. The wind picks up, howling now, carrying a sense of foreboding. He pulls his horse to a stop, a sudden stillness in the swirling landscape. He feels it before he sees it, a presence on his trail. He glances over his shoulder, and that's when we see it too. Far back on the ridge, another figure on horseback. This one is different. It's a stark black silhouette, motionless against the stormy sky. Cloaked in shadow, face hidden beneath the brim of a wide hat. You can't make out any features, just an unnerving stillness. And then, a faint, impossible glint of red from beneath the brim. This is the Shadow Rider, a name spoken only in hushed whispers in the smoky corners of saloons and around flickering campfires. A legend, a ghost, a specter that rides the plains. They say he doesn't bring death, but he appears just before it arrives. He is the final warning, the silent omen. His appearance means your time is up. The townsfolk know the legend. We see their faces etched with fear inside a small rustic saloon. Oil lamps cast long dancing shadows. A game of poker is frozen, cards held tight in trembling hands. Glasses of whiskey shake on the table as thunder cracks overhead, a celestial drum roll announcing the drama unfolding outside. The fear is palpable. They know the Shadow Rider is near, and that means one of their own is marked. Back on the plain, the sound of hoofbeats begins to echo. Not a frantic gallop, but a slow, deliberate, and terrifyingly steady rhythm. Step, clop, step, clop. It's the sound of inevitability. Through the swirling dust and the gathering fog, the dark figure moves closer. His horse is as black as a starless night, its mane seeming to flow like smoke. The darkness is so complete that the faint light from a distant lantern barely pierces the gloom. And then the heavens open up. Rain begins to fall, first as a drizzle, then as a torrential downpour, plastering the prairie grass to the earth. The wind howls, a symphony of nature's fury. A brilliant flash of lightning illuminates the entire scene for one breathtaking second. In that stark white light, we see them. The two riders facing each other across a muddy patch of ground. One mortal, flesh and blood, his face a mask of terror and defiance. The other, something else, a phantom, a ghost from the folklore of this harsh land. Time seems to stand still. The silence between them is heavier than the rolling thunder. In a desperate final act of defiance, our cowboy's hand darts towards the revolver at his hip. He's not going down without a fight. But you can't fight a shadow. You can't shoot a ghost. As his fingers touch the cold metal of his gun, another bolt of lightning splits the sky. But this time, when the light fades, the Shadow Rider is gone. Vanished as if he were never there, leaving only the wind, the rain, and the swirling dust in his place. There's no trace, no sound of retreating hoofbeats, just an unnerving, absolute emptiness where the specter once stood. The storm passes as quickly as it came, the fury of the night giving way to the quiet promise of a new day. The final scene is one of haunting tranquility. Dawn breaks, casting a soft, golden light over the now peaceful plains. The mud is thick, the air is clean. In the middle of this serene landscape stands a lone horse, its reins dangling in the dirt, but its rider is gone. Where the man once stood, there is nothing but a single black cowboy hat, half submerged in the mud, a silent testament to the night's encounter, a final chilling punctuation mark on the legend of the Shadow Rider. This story isn't just a ghost story, it's a piece of the American mythos. It speaks to the loneliness of the frontier, the harshness of the environment, and the human confrontation with the unknown and the inevitable. The imagery is so powerful, the contrast of the golden dusk and the stormy blue night, the interplay of light and shadow, the raw, realistic detail of the 1900s West. It's a mood, an atmosphere you can feel in your bones. The glowing red eyes, the horse's smoky mane, the lone hat in the mud. These are details that stick with you long after the story ends. It reminds us that for every tale of heroism and grit in the Old West, there's another told in whispers, a darker story that rides on the wind. What do you all think? Is the Shadow Rider a real entity or a personification of the fear and solitude of the plains? Let me know your theories in the comments below. It's a fascinating concept to explore. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the dark heart of the American West. If you enjoyed this dive into folklore and cinematic storytelling, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next adventure. Until then, stay curious and watch the horizon.